In this video, we'll demonstrate how to connect and control third-party devices and field equipment from within the IC system using the IC Out Control Output device. We'll be using a DC latching relay to control an AC-powered fan, which will simulate a greens fan. There are a few important things to be aware of before we get started. All connections must be made in compliance with the manufacturer's documentation for both the relay and the field equipment, and must comply with all local building and electrical codes. If necessary, please consult a licensed electrician to perform this operation. Always install devices with the IC wire pad turned off. And finally, remember that you have to use the Rainbird Central Control software version 8.1.0 or higher with IC in and IC out devices. Let's start the installation. Step 1 is to gather all of the necessary products and installation tools. We have an IC out device, an AC powered fan simulating a greens fan. In this case, we have the leads to the fan. We also have a DC latching relay, a DIN rail-mounted latching relay socket, a DIN mounting rail, Rainbird direct berry splice kits, 2 silicone-filled tubes and 3 wire nuts, an AC external power in cable, wire strippers, a maxi cable stripper, and a Phillips screwdriver. The DC latching relay is available from Rainbird and other suppliers. Step 2 in the process is to select the location for the equipment. When installing in the field, Rainbird recommends that you install the DC latching relay inside a weatherproof enclosure along with the IC out device, as close as possible to the field equipment that is being controlled. The latching relay will usually be closer to the field equipment, somewhere near the control box, and the IC out will be closer to the field wiring for the IC system, or the maxi cable. If you're using a rail inside the weatherproof enclosure, be sure to install it safely and securely, and make sure it meets local building and electrical codes. Step 3 is to connect the IC out device to the field equipment that is being controlled via the DC latching relay. To do that, first insert the DC latching relay into the relay mounting socket by aligning the pins in the relay with the contacts in the mounting socket. The relay and the socket are keyed to prevent any kind of misalignment. As you can see, there's only one way to install this. The optional mounting rail slides into position like this. Be sure to lock the assembly into place and then mount it inside the enclosure. In this case, we aren't using the mounting rail, so you have the DC latching relay mounted right onto the socket. Before we make the connections, let's do a quick primer on latching relays. A latching relay switches an external power input between 2 external power output terminals based on the state of the relay. On one side of the relay, the center of the top row is blank with no terminal screw. The side with the blank is the side with the power input and control input terminals. The other side has the power output connections. The bottom row of the input side is the power input. The top row is control inputs. There are 2 sets of power output terminals, the top and bottom rows. The bottom row is normally open terminals 4 and 6. Which means that when the latching relay is in the off state, the normally open connections do not supply power. For most of the field equipment we control, we'll end up using normally open terminals. When the control input changes the state of the relay to on, these terminals will supply power. The top row is normally closed terminals 1 and 3, which means that when the latching relay is in the off state, the normally closed connections supply power. Now that we know what a latching relay does, let's start by connecting the power and control inputs to the relay. Ensure that no live power is supplied to the power input connection by unplugging or switching off the circuit breaker. Next, connect the external power input to the latching relay. On the side of the latching relay, there's a space where there's no screw and no terminal. The input wires are going into the side without the terminal. Loosen the terminal screw, insert the cable, and tighten to secure. This will be the internal power, or the power that's being supplied to the relay. Now that we have the power supply connected to the latching relay, let's connect the IC out output wires to the latching relay. These go on the same side as the input power, and you may need to trim them down a bit. The terminals, or the connections on each side of this space, are referred to as the A and B, or the A1 and A2 terminals. Loosen the screws. Connect the IC out red and white control wire to terminal B, or A2. Connect the IC out black and white control wire to terminal A, or A1. Tighten. The IC out is now plugged into the DC latching relay, and the input supply is also connected. Don't connect the solid red and black cables to the field wiring yet. Now that the device is connected to the relay, let's ensure that the IC wire path is turned off. This is very important. Once that's done, we're ready to connect the IC out device to our system using the IC system field wiring or maxi cable. Connect the two red wires, use wire nuts to make a secure splice, then insert the wire nuts into the silicone-filled tubes if you're installing inside a valve box. Make sure the silicone gel completely covers the splices, then close the tubes. Repeat the process with the two black wires. And now the IC out device is connected to the IC system field wiring. The last step in the process is to check your work. Ensure that all of the connections are secure and no bare wire is exposed to the environment. Apply power to the wire path and allow 2 full minutes for the IC system to power up before performing any operations. Now let's connect the field equipment. These are the leads for the greens fan. Connect one wire from the field equipment to the wire from the external power input. Protect the splice with a wire nut and turn the wire nut clockwise to secure the wires. Now connect the second wire from the field equipment to terminal 6, the normally open terminal, on the bottom row on the output side of the relay. This completes the circuit between input power and output power. This type of connection minimizes potential shock hazard at the latching relay. We're now ready to either activate the circuit breaker or, in this case, use an external power supply to provide power to the DC latching relay. When the signal to turn on the equipment is sent, it will turn the DC latching relay on, which means the circuit will be closed and the input power will be routed to the field equipment. The IC out installation is now complete. Next, please watch our video on configuring and controlling IC out devices using the Rainbird Central Control. Thanks for watching.